today, I want to give you some housekeeping notes. As I'm sure many of you know, all of this is done under the auspices of the Film Noir Foundation. And every day of the festival, we are having a donation drive. And if you donate to the foundation, you are automatically entered in our little thing to win prizes. You'll see Darl Sparks, the fabulous Darl Sparks, is out there at the merch table, and a little table next to that has all the information and shows exactly what you can win. So please do that. It is much appreciated. And it's a random winner, so you don't have to be the biggest donor in order to win the prize. We're very democratic about that. I also want to note that a lovely woman is here today, Janet Rogers. Her first novel, Shamus Dust, has just been published. And Janet is donating all the proceeds from the sale of those novels to the Film Noir Foundation, and she will be here today selling the book and signing them. She will be signing at 5 o'clock and at 7 o'clock. She is British, so she is here for these English films that we're showing later today. So we're going to Italy, Sweden, and England on the program today. If you were here on opening night, you heard me tell tales of how the detective work that's involved in finding these movies and resurrecting them. And for those Argentine films that we showed on opening night, that was the culmination of a trip I took to Buenos Aires 12 years ago, and we're pulling these films out of these archives where the temperature is far too humid to store them properly, and we're saving them just before they die. So it's important for people to know how incredibly complex my job can be. Then there's things like how I discovered the film that you're about to see right now. When I do my festival in San Francisco, there's a wonderful Italian restaurant around the corner from the theater, and I was eating in there one night during the festival last year, and I'm talking to some people, and I keep glancing up because the proprietor of this restaurant likes to show movies on the wall. And I kept looking up because I said, who's this guy with the dark glasses on indoors, and this movie looks really interesting, and I just couldn't focus on my dinner guests at all. And finally I said to Francesco, the owner of the restaurant, I said, well, I don't know this movie, what is this? And he said, oh, that's Maledetto Imbroglio, that's one of my favorite films, you know, I love it, Pietro Germi, and he gives me a copy of the DVD to watch. And now you're about to see it. Because that's exactly how I discovered this movie. It is sensational. And Pietro Germi, the director of this film, and also the star, he plays the policeman who is the star of this movie, kind of a stylish Italian version of Columbo in a way. You know, we all know from our art house upbringing about directors like Fellini and Vittorio De Sica and Michelangelo Antonioni and Gino Visconti, but Pietro Germi didn't quite have the reputation of those other very arty directors. He was much more of a populist in Italy. He was certainly known in this country and has been nominated for Oscars for some of the films that he made, like Divorced Italian Style, and a terrific picture called Seduced and Abandoned. He didn't just do dark, arty movies. He did comedies as well. And this film, even though it is based on a very, very famous Italian mystery novel, does have a wonderful strain of dark humor in it that sets it apart from being a hardcore noir film. It's more a combination of a police procedural and a mystery story and a social commentary on Italy and its class system and its cultural norms, and that black comedy. It is based on a very famous novel called That Awful Mess on the Via Meraluna that was written by Carlo Gadda. And it's the difference between the movie and the book. The book is very experimental, and it is clearly using the mystery form as a way of discussing Italian society, particularly the lead up to Mussolini's fascist regime. But movie is not set during that period. It is set during the 1950s. And Jeremy still works in some of that social commentary very strongly into the film. But the novel was very, very well respected. I'm happy to say it has been revived, and it has now been published by the New York Review of Books in a new English translation that I'm very much looking forward to reading. So this film also features a very early performance by the impossibly gorgeous Claudia Cardinale. You will see her as a young woman. And you'll see when the movie starts, there's a gorgeous piece of music written by Carlo Rustichelli, sung by Alida Celli, called Sini Mi Moro, that is one of the most beautiful pieces of music. And it was a minor hit when this movie came out and has been performed numerous times over the years by various artists. So you'll have that tune in your head for the rest of the day. Even when we go to Sweden and to England, you'll still be hearing this marvelous piece of music. So with that, I'm going to turn the day over to, this part of the day over to Pietro Germi and his fabulous Maledetto Imbroglio, The Facts of Murder.